Next up, we have something also really special for you. If you're not practicing mindfulness, I think it's a great tool for you during the pandemic. It's definitely helped me. Right after the mindfulness training, we will have a short break. So just note that. We're so pleased to have Brenda Fingold, a certified mindfulness trainer, back with us today. She's going to lead us in an exercise, and she's been part of our self-care panel in the past at the conference, and she's back by popular demand. Brenda, I turn it over to you for a little bit of mindfulness training for us. Teach us how to do it.
Thank you, Miel. It is such a pleasure to be here with all of you, and such an honor to have been able to receive the wisdom that we just had. And yes, I see someone just writing outstanding. It was. And I'm actually really excited that I'm following it, because mindfulness is such a strong foundation for what we just heard. So in part, Miel and I talked about the pandemic and what it means to stay steady going through it and coming out. But to be honest with you, I took a ton of notes here. Karen's statement, we're living in such a perilous time. So how do we stay solid and stable and well? And also, Michelle saying, what we need is willful awareness, the ability to say, I'm going to dive in and have a conversation that I know will make me uncomfortable. This is why I practice and teach mindfulness, because in order to do exactly what Michelle said, we need the ability to direct our attention, willfully choose what we want to attend to, and to redirect ourselves to our values and our intentions when we get caught up with what I'll call habit energy, right? It's our background, it's our culture, it's our old beliefs. So how do we manage our attention? And also, Michelle said, have conversations that we know will make us uncomfortable. We live in a world where we don't want to turn toward discomfort. And this perilous time, as women, as leaders, asks us to turn toward that discomfort. Mindfulness helps us to stay steady and clear-headed in that discomfort. And if any of you have read Rhonda McGee, the San Francisco law professor who wrote Mindfulness and the Inner Work of Racial Justice, what I thought was so brilliant is she said the biggest skill we need is to be comfortable with discomfort in order to have these conversations. So that's all I'll say, but for however you take this, for ease as we come out of or navigate the pandemic or the racial injustice, or just to stabilize yourself, to go in and do what's being called for. Here's one practice. It's from the University of Oxford, the Mindfulness Center in the UK. It is a very researched practice that can be done in 3 minutes, 1 minute. I'll do it in 5 minutes probably. And you'll have a recording of it that you can practice. It's called a breathing space. And you're gonna see, it's like an hourglass. So we're working with attention. It's a practice to help get unstuck when we're caught up and stuck, and to get back to the center. So just take a moment and take an intentional posture, even just a little shift. Don't have to do anything fancy, just something that reflects your intention to be willful and present right now. You want the eyes to close, that's fine. If it's comfortable, if not, just take a soft gaze and check in with yourself. Especially right now, the question is, what's it like to be me right now? And I want to guide you in this because it's not a mind thing. So let's just start. What's it like in your body right now? So just scan. You might notice places that are tight or tense. You might notice places that actually don't hurt. We so often look at what's wrong, but gee, if we have even one place that doesn't hurt, that should be welcome too, even if it's just a toe in this moment. So noticing what's here without trying to change it or needing to change it right now. And if there's some pain, some achiness, bring it kindness. Mindfulness is awareness with kindness and curiosity, particularly for the human condition, and particularly right now. So we know what's in the body. What emotions are here for me right now? And see if you can just name them without getting lost in them or caught up in them. Just there's excitement, maybe. Maybe there's also sadness or frustration. Maybe there was some triggering and there's anxiety or fear. Maybe contentment. When we name things, we can tame them. We use a part of the mind that lets us just move a little bit away from them so we can take skillful action. And many of us are used to feeling we have to figure out what's here and wrap it in a bow. But often there's many different emotions, some of which are conflicting. So just noticing what's here right now, not needing to change it, just acknowledging. And the last piece is noticing what's going on in the mind. So we're not thinking, but we're using a part of the brain that's not lost in thinking to just notice what's here. Is the mind really busy? Are there a million ideas going through it? Is it quiet in this moment? Are you planning or worrying? We can label that too. Planning or worrying or thinking about later. No judgment. You just want to be present for the truth of the moment, which is what we want to do in all of our lives and for these issues we're dealing with today. So with that, knowing how you are just right now. And now taking that wide attention and gathering it up and bringing it right to the breath. So we're using the breath as an anchor, taking a narrow focus on the fact that we're breathing and aware that we're breathing. Aware that breath is flowing in and flowing out. If for any of you focusing on the breath is not comfortable, it's not supportive, maybe if there's anxiety or other breathing issues, just focus on your hands or your feet. That's fine, just an anchor. So we're training the mind to focus. You might notice where you feel the breath most vividly, belly or chest or the tips of the nostrils. Just a few moments of focus can replenish. Coming back whenever you notice you've wandered. That's all, no judgment. And now, like this hourglass shape, we're going to widen the attention once more, feeling this body, crown to soles of the feet, the dimensionality, the breath flowing in and out, your hearing and aware of hearing, seeing and aware of seeing, present in this moment. Maybe something's a little different than it was a few minutes ago. 5 minutes we did this. Maybe not. It's okay. It's a practice. And it is a practice that we can do in a minute or 2 minutes. And it helps us get unstuck when we can't have awareness. And it helps us see perspectives, flexible attention, and calm the nervous system. So again, you'll have a recording of me doing this practice and a number of other short practices if you're interested. But thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to be with you and breathe with you.
Thank you, Brenda. You're always so calming. It just puts me in this beautiful mind space. Brenda is also a lawyer, so she brings that to her practice, which we love. But thank you so much for being with us today. It really was very soothing.